My name is Yumi Janairo Roth. I'm an artist and I'm also a professor of sculpture and post-studio practice at the University of Colorado Boulder. I was not born and raised in Denver, but my grandparents on my father's side actually retired here in the late 70s. So as a kid, I used to actually come to south of Denver. So I have a sort of a kind of a vision of what Colorado was and what it's become. My mom is from the Philippines, and so most of my family immigrated on that, at least on that side of my family, immigrated here in the 60s. But my father is from the United States, and so I kind of have a, sort of foot in both places. The idea of the Philippines and what it means to sort of be part of that diaspora, and what it means to sort of be, kind of a child of immigrants and whatnot, like figures sort of kind of cyclically through my work. So there's a lot of hybridity that has always been present in the work. And I think sort of like ideas of sort of immigration and Filipino-ness, especially, that sort of ebbs and flows. Right now we're at kind of a high point of it, I think. So there's a lot of very sort of kind of culturally specific exploration that's happening now. So thinking about sort of the Asian American community in sort of in Colorado or the West is an interesting one. So like, Filipinos, for example, just to kind of think about them in the context of Asian and Asian Americans, they're the third largest Asian American group in the United States, and yet sort of visibility can be sometimes an issue, especially outside of the coast, places like California or Hawaii, even Alaska. Alaska has a very large Filipino American population, and then some of the sort of larger coastal cities, maybe in like Texas and then up along the eastern seaboard. So but in like the interior or the Mountain West, Filipino visibility is not as pronounced. How do I engage with it? I think I engage with it as probably somebody who kind of sees that, like feels both in the place and sort of standing outside of that place. And so a lot of the projects that I do are about, in some ways, trying to, I don't know, maybe anchor a home to that, or try to find a place in a site that maybe I didn't think really was interested in, not me, like me individually, but me, my history, or me, my sort of collective history. And as I sort of dig into that, I think there are other, contemporary artists who, both regionally and nationally, who deal with that as well too. So I think as I've been working sort of more recently on these projects, I've engaged with that history a little bit more, and especially and with the communities around sort of Colorado quite a bit more than I have in the past. It inspires me. Everyday stuff that if you kind of look at it a little bit askew, kind of offers up new sort of questions. So I love the everyday stuff. 3 words that motivate me. Okay, I'm going to go back to a project that Emmanuel and myself are working on, and the project is called We Are Coming. So I'm going to say, we are coming. We say it all the time to each other, and it's kind of an embodiment of this group of Filipinos, as well as sort of our investigation into that, into the project. Ooh, what do I like about the MC? I was thinking about that question. I think what I have always been interested about what MCA does is really sort of the diversity of projects that they do and the programming that happens sort of around them. So that, there might be a show that's sort of very formal on one side, and then it'll totally switch out, and it'll be a participatory, like sort of socially engaged kind of exhibition sort of the next go around. So I feel like what MCA does and brings to, especially to Denver, is a really kind of a diverse palette of work.